I absolutely adored The Worst Witch. This has been on my to-watch list for a while, but I was very hesitant because I grew up with the 90s Worst Witch TV show, absolutely loved it. So I was concerned that I would be too much in love with that to really allow myself to enjoy this, but I went in with an open mind as much as possible, and I thought it was fabulous. This was released, of course, 1986. It's directed by Robert W. Young, written by Mary Plachette Willis, based, of course, on the story by Jill Murphy. And we have a cast including Fairuza Balk, Diana Rigg, Charlotte Rae, Tim Curry, Sabina, Franklyn, Sue Elliot, Danielle Batchelor, and various others. And certainly if you grew up with the 90s version, you will recognise a lot of the characters in here, and there are two ways of looking at this. Will you enjoy it if you grew up with the 90s show? And will you enjoy it if you're brand new to The Worst Witch? And honestly, the answer to that, on both counts, is yes. It's about a young witch called Mildred Hubble, and she's the worst witch at Cackle's Academy. And this is a chance for her to become a better witch, to prove herself and her abilities, and to face up to some bullies. It's full of spells and potions and broomstick flying and the most adorable kittens. The kittens are so precious. I feel like growing up I wanted to go to a witch school, whether that was Cackle's Academy or somewhere else. But I'm pretty sure I thought it's because I would get a kitten for going there. There are some games and fabulous costumes. The hats look a little bit strange. The witches' hats, they look like, and this is just purely my observation, but they look like they've been padded out with something to make them stand straight. And they just look a little bit terrible. But everything else looks absolutely fantastic. The whole thing looks wonderful. It's not a musical necessarily, but there are a few musical numbers in it. And I didn't care for those. They weren't bad, but I just felt like they felt out of place, and I could have done without them, but they're not the worst. The story itself is brilliant. The characters are fabulous. The performances are great. The children in particular did such amazing work. Great editing, great camera work, lovely locations, and if I were to compare it with the 90s version, it does feel different in a way, but also if I were to show you this without telling you the name of it, and you couldn't hear the name of the characters, there is a very good chance that you would draw parallels between the two of them. So in a way it feels different, but it's also recognisable. Miss Hardbroom and Miss Cackle are definitely quite similar to the versions in the 90s, though I feel like Miss Hardbroom in the 90s was a lot scarier. I felt like she was a lot more intimidating. Maybe that's just because my memories of her are from when I was a child. Miss Cackle here was actually very, very similar, but I think the performances were great. Miss Cackle is played by Charlotte Rae, and Miss Hardbroom is played by Diana Rigg, and they just did a wonderful job with bringing those characters to life. It's tremendous fun, and I would watch it again. And I honestly wasn't expecting to say that. I had a feeling I would enjoy bits of it, but I was concerned that my love of the 90s series would affect my ability to really enjoy this. But I'm pleased to say it is an absolute joy. Visually, it is tremendous fun. Yes, it looks a little rough around the edges in places, and yes, the hats look ridiculous, but it still looks charming. The characters are great. Some of the special effects are fabulous. There's not a tremendous amount of them, but a few things happen here and there, and it works well enough. And it was just an absolute joy. If you grew up watching the Worst Witch TV series, I'd say give this a go. I think you will thoroughly enjoy it. And if you're brand new to the series, part of me thinks I want to recommend the 90s series anyway, because it holds a special place in my heart. But if you just want to watch a feature-length film, then needless to say, I'm very, very happy to recommend this. And of course, I recommend the books as well. I've read the first book very, very long time ago. I don't know if I've read any more. I feel like I probably would have done, but I certainly haven't read them all. There are only 8 of them, which surprises me. I thought there were more. But either way, really solid, fantastic fun, magical, enjoyable film with fabulous performances and gorgeous, charming visuals for the most part. And if you're a fan of The Worst Witch, or this is your introduction, I'm certainly happy to recommend it, and I would very much like to watch it again.